I ask you one question, that if you have to sell your services at lower price or at a higher price, then which one do you think would be the easiest way? Obviously, majority of the people would say that selling services at lower price would be much easier, and it's a simple approach. Why? Because people, they want to buy low price products or services, right? So my question is this, that when we say that okay, it is easy to sell a product or service at a lower price, then why it is difficult to sell a product or service at a higher price? See, the question here comes, the number one thing is that why you say that it is easy, because the kind of the customers you are targeting, that's the main reason behind it. Okay, you have identified a segment, and when you are selling your products and services to that particular segment, so obviously you would consider the price of your product and services according to your buyers, according to their buying capacity. And when you are selling, let's say, a product maybe at 50,000 rupees or your service at 50,000 rupees, and you think that your target audience or your target customers, they can afford to buy this service at 50,000 rupees, so you will be easily able to sell it at 50,000 rupees. But when you are selling the same price product to a different segment who cannot afford to buy a 50,000 product, then you will think that selling it at a discounted price is an easy approach. So is it because we are not confident that our product or service is up to the mark, or it can be sold to an elite class, or we are not able to give any value to our service or product? So what do you think, that why our mind is tuned to sell products or services at low price? Why do we think that it is easy? What makes our mind trigger that when we would give discount, we would attract more customers? Obviously, this is good strategy. When you want to attract customers, you can give discount. Discount is different thing, whereas selling a low price product is totally a different game. We should not confuse between the two. What I mean is, like, suppose you are selling a low price service, then further you are giving a discount, that's the worst situation. Okay, but if you are giving a high price service and then you are giving a discount, that's acceptable. That could be a good strategy to attract customers. But why do we think that it is easy? It's all about our mindset. There is nothing about the price, because you know your services better, so you also know that what is the price that you want to charge. Obviously you are not happy with your existing price, so you want to increase it, but you are using the same approach, that you are selling your services at a lower price. So as I just discussed earlier, that our mind is tuned to sell services at a lower price. We feel comfortable, okay, and we feel that if we'll sell our services at a lower price, we'll be able to sell more. So instead of using this approach, now what you have to do, you have to change your market segment. Okay, now I'll tell you how you can do that. First of all, because you are selling your services to an existing clients, so for them your price can be a little higher. Okay, the buyers who are buying your services, they consider that your services are a little expensive, and that's why you feel that you need to sell a low price services. So now what you have to do is, you just have to find new potential clients. Okay, for them this price is affordable, who can buy the new price that you have now decided. That should be a low price for them, because see, the price is different for everybody. So what is the definition of a low price or a high price service? There is no such rule which can tell that this service is at a higher price or it is at a lower price. So there is only one rule, it depends on the buyer. And if the buyer is able to afford that service, that means it's not expensive. Number two, if the buyer needs it immediately, If the buyer understands that it is going to solve a bigger problem, if the buyer realizes that this service is going to add more value, so even then the service is not expensive. So the answer to this question, that what is the right price of a product or a service, it totally depends on your buyer. If you are selling the same service to a different person, the same service can be expensive for one buyer, it can be cheap for another buyer. So finally, if you want to sell your services at a higher price, find the right buyer who can afford it, who needs it urgently, and you can demonstrate the right value and you can solve a bigger problem for your buyer.